Yeah, hello guys. So welcome back to my channel. We are continuing our teaching series on the research. We are going to look at the personality of a good researcher. So I hope that you get something of value as we have been trying to do all this while. So as a way of introduction, so we are going to, in the last video, we of course discussed the types of research that we have. That was the last video we did. And in this video, we are going to actually identify some key qualities a good researcher is expected to have. So that if you are going to be a researcher, whether you are doing your MA or even your BA, or you are doing a PhD, or you are become trained and you become an independent researcher. I know all of you need to know what it is that is required. Now, these are things we normally take for granted, but we're going to see people do all kind of things. So I guess that's why we need to talk about the personality of the researcher. Now let's start. We have quite a number, so we are going to take them slide by slide, and as God helps us. I'm not expecting this video should be long, but anyhow, however far we can go, God helping us. So, qualities of a good researcher. So, what are the likely qualities of a good researcher? So, now first is good training. A researcher that is well trained will actually most time be able to excel around. So, must be well trained to be reckoned with. So, if they have good mentors, they have good training, which is part of what we have been trying to do, then they are likely to do well in the research field. Then you also have creativity and imagination. Now you think only novel writers, creative writers need this, but no. The truth is this, that to be a good researcher, you have to be curious. You have to be imaginative. You just have to be creative, because if you are not curious, if you are not or what I say, just you should be able to think outside the box. Now, most times research is based on observation we have made, and then we try to solve the problem. We try to find solution. We have to try to find answers to those issues that we are seeing around us. That's what research is about. So we have tried to define research. You can watch the video on this topic, as Lele put it. So essentially, for somebody to be able to even think of a concept to want to do a research on, then that means you actually are somebody that you're observant and you're curious, you are creative, you have imagination. You want to know, okay, what is behind this? And that is just essentially what this is about. So you don't just like some people, and that's why I think we have this problem of plagiarism and all that, because people that cannot really think and they cannot really imagine things, they cannot be creative, they cannot think outside the box. So the only thing they can do, the only answer they have is that they should go and steal somebody else's work and effort. That is not nice at all. Now, another quality a good researcher should have is patience and endurance. Now, is most times research may take quite a while for you to be able to get to. Of course, there are long-term research, there are also short-term ones. Now, if it's a long-term research, this one essentially talking to students. You may have um, a case where you have a supervisor, and then you can, yes, as much as you really want to do this thing, but the person is only not only your work that the person is doing, so you need to respect that. I know at times we want to say, oh, maybe people are frustrated students. At times it may not actually be the person's fault. You may have so much on their plate, but I also hope that we, as scholars, we also have the this thing to be able to say, okay, I'm not going to be available, and that's why the university try to limit the number of students. But no matter what is the situation, we must not have patience and assurance and endurance. You have to have um, you have to be able to look at the issue dispassionately, and try and just know this is training, and in training time you just have to learn to work at the pace of the person that is training you. I remember when I was doing my PhD, then anytime I go and say hello to my supervisor, he will just, of course, I will not mention the work. I just came to say hello, but he understood. I think with time he understood. Okay, this my hello has, like you will say that only that it has a reason behind it. And so I was not hurrying him, but I was making sure it was so. But I was available. And when he saw I was serious, of course, he picked up and started looking at my work. And I had students like that. I had some. I can tell you some. You can almost call it a case of harassment, but then they get the work done, and that's the important thing. So, but you don't go there harassing your supervisor. That one is not nice. But when you let the person know you're serious and all of that, the person will actually wake up and try and also work at the pace you are going. Then the ability to carry out an independent research study is also another thing. So you should have the intellectual ability to be able to do your research. You don't go and take it up a research, then you put it on another of your mates to write and then to just come and like some will say, just put my name. That is not nice because the day will come that you need to defend what was written. So how are you going to defend it? That's just the truth of the matter because I remember that when we were growing up, we were not being asked to come and defend and all of that, except at the PhD level. But these days, you do exam for the student to be admitted to the graduate class. You also need to do the must do defense. Now even we also do defense of first degree. And why? Because we want to be sure they actually did the work. Because it is so bad now that people just go and copy somebody's work or get somebody to do the work for them. That is not nice at all. So if you don't have the intellectual ability, it's not by force. Like somebody I know used to say that not everybody actually must have degree, and that's why you have college education. That's why you have the what's it called, polytechnic, where your ability is, go and do the work there and then operate at that level. If you don't have the intellectual ability for a higher level, why do it? If it's practical things that your hands can handle, that your hands can, then face those. The ability to work in a group of other researchers. Now, you must be able to collaborate with others as the need arises. Like I used to tell people, I have quite a number of research teams, and so there are people that have different research teams. You should be able to collaborate with your colleagues. So that one is also very important. Of course, I also know you may say some people want to draw you back. Of course, this is talking to scholars because at times, but if you are also a student, you may also have your professor giving you group work. You don't just go and say, I've as an MA student, we had a group work, but I try to contribute my quota, but you see some other colleagues say, "Oh," they will just feel, I let this person that knows they do it now that after all our names to be there. That is not nice. And I've been trying to see how to solve that problem with my own students so that you don't let somebody do the work, then you just go and take the credit. That is not nice at all. The quality of a good researcher continued. So we also have objectivity is also important. You need to avoid any form of bias. Now, if you already have your mind fixed, you don't start working towards the answer. That is no longer research. If you already have the answers, why are you doing research? So you don't tell yourself that like, let me just say a common this thing now. All white people they are racist. Then you now say you want to find out whether all white people are racist. You already have your answer. So why are you doing a research? Or you want to say all black people are not intelligent. So because you have already made up your mind. So why are you not, why what is the point doing research to find out how whether people of African descent are intelligent or not? So there's no point. You are wasting everybody's time. So you can apply it to any other area that you can think of. Um, so you don't work to the answer. You do research to find the answer. Yes, you may have observation, you may have the right, and that will motivate your study. But that does not mean that you already draw your conclusion because there's no point doing research. You may have an expectation, which is allowed, but your data may tell you that your expectation is wrong or it has been overtaken by events. And you should be open, you should be objective enough to be open to that. The extensive reader, of course, you have to be a voracious reader because I see people just carry one or two of people's work and then they start just using that to be telling themselves that they have done this and they have done that. No, you have to read extensive for you to even be able to start, for you to even conceptualize. Because you must find out what is there a gap? Is there a gap in a scholarship that you need to fill? Because if you do not read, you cannot find it. It may take you a bit of time, and most time when you are actually doing that extensive reading, most time you might have actually prepare your literature review, which we are going to talk about as time goes on. So it is very important that you read widely. Then you also have to have logical reasoning. Now you don't say again. This I think can be connected to the issue of objectivity. Your reasoning must be logical. You don't do research. You just say this is where I see it, and that's the only way that is possible. Because the whole point of literature review is that you are querying what has been done, and you are from there you'll be able to find what is the answer. I mean, what is the question that is still remaining to be answered. But then again, we are also talking about structure in terms of logical reasoning. There's a way you present. You have introduction, which gives a general idea of what you're going to do and how you're going to do it in the research. Then you have your literature review where you actually establishes for us both the framework of analysis as well as the gap that have been found that you are able to establish. Then you are also able to have your methodology, which will tell us how you went about the research. Of course, your analysis, which you'll be able to you do using your frame of analysis, your framework of analysis, and be able to lead us to findings that is trained up based on this approach that you have now applied. And of course, you should be able to give us a discussion on your views on that matter and draw a conclusion to tell us what you are now contributing to knowledge. Of course, if it's possible, tell us what are the things that you wish you were able to do but you're not able to do. So you suggest what are the further areas of research that you think may still be available for somebody else to take on. So then you also have to be diligent and optimistic about your work. So it is about hard work, but you don't give up on the assignment. You don't give up on your assignment because we have read or watched. I think I was telling my students recently there was a film I watched. One person was a medical doctor, or was supposed to be. I was it was a film in European or whatever or British or whatever, and this guy was just kidnapping people and killing them because he actually doing a research. Of course, that's very, very unethical, and we'll talk about ethics of research too as time goes on. It is very, very unethical. But what we are saying is that you need to be focused on the work, you need to do it, and you do not also tell yourself, oh, you cannot do this, and then you give up. No, that is not acceptable at all. So you must be able to do that. Then what about time management? Of course, this is also very important. You should be able to manage the time well in order to complete the research work. I've had a research I'm doing with people, and I've seen the way it will be out of frustration. I just take it to buy. And though my husband come to accuse me that because they know I will do that, why some of them just leave it for. It is not good. If you set a time, and I think in my own university now, the research grant that's given to you now, they are really monitoring and make sure that you are keeping to time. At times, some things may be out of your control. I remember one of my research team, when we sent letters to the National Assembly to the women that want to interview, they didn't respond and all of that. So it was actually frustrating. And this delayed our research work for actually months. But eventually we decided to make do with what we have. So if we are trying to get the women, help them in policies and they are not ready to cooperate, so I don't really know how you can blame men that it's the men that are denying them. Then you also have to have adequate preparation before for a successful research. So it may be in terms of preparing your time, planning your activities, planning what you're going to do and how you're going to do. Of course, if you have a structure, that may a time frame and a time structure for yourself, a timetable, it will also help. So at times it may be that you need the funding, so you may need to apply for funding. So this is all kind of preparation you need to do, or you need to source for materials. So whichever way you need to do this, you need to try and get yourself ready for the work ahead. Um, then self-confidence is also an important part of this. So you need to be confident enough so that you don't go and steal other people's ideas. You don't start saying that this thing that you have taken from somebody else, you are not acknowledging them. That's why you have references section, or if you are somebody in language, that's why you have the works cited section. I think for people in religious studies also, they are in Chicago style. I don't know whether they call it bibliography or whatever they call theirs. So whatever name is called, please give acknowledgement. If anybody contributed, I remember I have another research group and we're doing, and somebody had to help us to look at the questionnaire and restructure it. We acknowledge the person. So somebody was saying, "Hey, you should not put the person." I said, no, this person did this thing. Yeah, we cannot pay the person, but we can acknowledge the contribution this person made. And it was really very good because it helped us to streamline what we're doing. So then the focus on research should also be very clear. You should know what exactly am I pursuing. It should not be that you are dragging this, you are dying down there, nobody can really see this is what you're doing. You need to have a focus, and that is very, very important. So these are the policies that you have. So let's look at what are we talking about. So in this video, you learn about the policies of a good researcher, and we'll show you what it takes to be a researcher with value and integrity. So this is actually the important thing I think you need to take away from there. The personality of the researcher is very, very important. So let's take some practice in. Name 2 qualities you think a good researcher should have, and discuss the place of integrity in the personality of a researcher. What do you think? What do you think makes a researcher good in terms of their in terms of the quality and the value and their value system? Let me put it like that. So we also wish to acknowledge here that these ideas are not originally mine. The ideas that actually we took from breeding and then from scholars and from people I share. So I cannot say all of them are mine. So I cannot say that. So there are also my students that are going to challenge me and going to make me to seek deeper and deeper. Colleagues that we have exchanged ideas and the colleagues we have talked. And especially I want to appreciate my class, my students in my NG 811 class. They have really helped me to put these things together. So thank you guys very much. So see you guys in the next video. Please don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share it. It will actually help us to get this video to more people, and also encourage us to continue to make, because if I tell you that this is easy doing, it is a lie. It is just the help of God. We have been doing it and our commitment to make sure that we get this out. So God bless you guys. See you guys in the next video.